Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be watching the ZOTAC number 261 finals between the the pink undead Cechi spawning as he's spawning as himself in the lower left versus Reprisal spawning as the blue human in the upper right side of the map. Oh man, today these are a day late. This is Sunday. These were played yesterday. I did put some games up yesterday from ZOTAC. I just didn't. I was too tired to do the finals. I'm sorry about that. Usually that won't be the case, but there were some long games, and I had some other issues, and then some other stuff happened that had nothing to do with casting or anything like that, and it was a shame. But anyway, we're going to be seeing a Mountain King coming out from Reprisal as his first hero, and for Cechi, we're going to be seeing a Death Knight coming out. We're going to see the Graveyard cool builds. This is indeed a Ted Fiends build, it looks like, and over here we're going to see a Scout Footman coming down across the map from Reprisal right there. Going to go ahead and try to get some kind of scout information, maybe even do a little bit of harass. However, you won't be able to actually hurt any of these acolytes. This Nerubian tower has been upgraded, has started to upgrade already, so that's not going to be much of a threat when that footman comes down here. He's just going to see that and say, okay, I'm going to run away now. So that's what footmen do sometimes. Smart ones, at least, the ones that live long. Most footmen don't make it to the end of the game, I'll be honest. Anyway, we're going to see Reprisal here with this Ogre Warrior. Going to get a Circlet of Nobility, indeed a great item to have. And it's going to be at +2 to all of those stats. How nice. We're going to see some Militia coming in here and a Footman as well. Now, the Death Knight, of course, running across the map. And what's he going to do? He's going to get bolted. Is he going to get surrounded? Going to get bolt surrounded right off the bat. That's not something you ever want to have happen. He's going to either die or he's going to TP out. I'm not sure what he's going to do here. He's trying to kill this peasant before he dies. He might be trying to. Not going to happen. And he's just going to die. Going to go ahead and give a little bit of experience to this Mountain King. Looks like he's more worried about his teleport scroll and then, you know, the minor amount of experience Reprisal gets from that. I mean, he does get level 2 from that. I think it's around 100 experience or so. That he actually just gained from killing that hero, but it's not a huge deal, but it is kind of not good. It's definitely not good. We are going to see a tech already coming in from Cechi, going for a 4th ghoul, something you generally want to do against Mountain King builds, and we're going to see Reprisal coming in here with a bunch of Militia. Looks like he might actually be going ahead and going for a very fast expansion. Not a bad idea when you have such a great start. That will go ahead and give him level 3 right here, I think. If not, he'll definitely be able to pick it up here from this green very quickly, long before Cechi is able to actually get up there and do anything. Now we do see these are 4 ghouls, 2 skeletons, and that Death Knight coming out. We're going to see yet another ghoul being built. Looks like Cechi might have decided it's time to creep himself and maybe go for a counter expansion at some point, because he does have quite a few ghouls at this point, and what he can do is he can easily go ahead and put up an expansion with the amount of wood he's going to have. The only issue would be to defend it. I'm not sure if he could defend it against this Mountain King that is now level 3, and it did just from that one creep right there. Picking up a 2nd Circlet of Nobility and a Slippers of Agility. Slippers of Agility, actually a nice item on a Mountain King. It's kind of the same reason that a Gloves of Haste is. It's not quite as good of as a Gloves of Haste, and you might sell it just for that reason, but it does increase your attack speed, and that gives you more bashes, which is always nice. Looks like he doesn't really care about that, though, and he's going to go ahead and sell it and pick up a Dust of Appearance. Did he picked up a Dust of Appearance? Yes, indeed. That's probably for Burrow at some point. Of course, Cechi is not tier 2 yet, so he's not going to be going to have to worry about Burrow right now. But we're going to go ahead and see Cechi getting creepjacked right here. And the Mountain King going to go ahead and pick off the ghoul with a bolt. And we're going to see one of these footmen going down to the chase from 2 ghouls and a Death Knight using a Death Coil to finish it off. We're going to see some of these footmen are actually quite low, but Reprisal's Mountain King is really just kind of a stompy guy right now. He can do a lot of damage, and he can really be a pain. You see one of these footmen just tanking all 3 of those creeps for no real reason, so now he's going to try to get out of there if he can. But you see that the ghoul trying to get away from this Mountain King, and this footman has 110 life, so one more hit, and then a coil, and it will go down. However, there's not enough mana for a coil, actually. 75 mana for a coil, of course, and we're going to see him just have to chase it down the old-fashioned way. He does have a Gloves of Haste, so that's nice, and he's going to be able to kill that and maybe even pick up some more skeletons. So he does have one more charge if he wants to. Nope, looks like he's going to run away. Here we do see the Mountain King chilling out in the center of the map. And over here we can see some of Cechi's skeletons coming over here, picking off a peasant immediately. Very nice, very nice. And so this town hall is now going up. and there's really not a whole lot Reprisal can currently do about that. But we'll see exactly what he intends to do. Picking up 2 more skeletons at the expansion natural. He just crapped out. You're gonna see a lich on its way out. Over here for Reprisal, still at tier 1, and he does have level 1 masonry upgrade researched, however. So he's doing pretty good right now. On just about everything. Reprisal's had a fairly good early game. Lost a few footmen, but that's not a huge issue. And he is now level 3 with 247 mana, 248. Gonna be able to do some really nice stuff here. We do see Frost Armor being picked up first on the Lich. Gonna go ahead and be really nice to use Frost Armor against Footman and Mountain King Harass. Just something super effective. The armor actually is a big help, but of course the slow is probably the biggest reason to do it. But that armor does actually help quite a bit from all the melee damage, or the physical damage they take. Of course, armor reduces physical damage, and that's all it reduces. It doesn't reduce spell damage like Bolt, but that's not really the point. So
a player's forces are
the point is that you have 3 footmen and a Mountain King wailing on something. It's gonna hurt. So armor helps there. I'm still on that point. Don't ask me why. So we do see another fiend coming out. That's going to put him up to 4 fiends. A slaughterhouse on its way, delaying his tier 2 tech because he needs a stronger tier 2 at this point, no matter pretty much what he does, unless he was trying to go for a straight destro push. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. And we're going to see that Reprisal now has begun his tier 2 tech. And over here we're going to see that he is, of course, putting up some more towers. Now, towers and a blacksmith, actually the blacksmith, we almost always see the blacksmith being put up at the expansion these days. And it's always like in a good position, and I've talked about this a little bit before, but I really like that because it's a block, essentially. It's really nice, and it's a block, and it's really tanky. It's not a vital building by any stretch of the imagination. You can always quickly rebuild it. And for the most part, you're not going to have too much of an issue. You know, once you've transitioned out of whatever units that you need from the blacksmith, I mean, that's probably never going to happen because, you know, it's a lot of your late game units are there, yeah, but I mean, like, transition's not the word. Once you've, like, capped out on your supply, if they pick off a blacksmith, it's not nearly as big of a deal because you're probably just banking in a lot of those situations anyway. Not always. It's definitely not always the case. I feel like at this point, what I was thinking in my head and what I'm saying are not matching up with reality, so I'm just going to stop. So we do have this fiend tanking this, of course, with the frost armor. Reprisal not switching the target of those towers. A little bit interesting because he could have. They do less damage, of course, through that plus the armor from that frost armor right there, so it's odd that they didn't go ahead and do that. So a little bit more efficient for Cechi right there. It's not a huge deal either way, though. I mean, really, it's not. But that blacksmith did get canceled. We're gonna see it being picked up somewhere else. Yes, triple built. Nope, five building that blacksmith and 2 building that second barracks over there. Maybe we're gonna see something disastrous coming out, like mass rifles coming in. That would be very powerful against this sort of an army that Cechi has right here. You can see that this is Reprisal's Mountain King taking a little bit of damage here, but nothing too serious. We do have Reprisal's footman down there keeping a scout. Oh, we're gonna see one of these long tier 2s maybe from Cechi right here. That would definitely be a possibility. I don't think I've ever seen it done with the undead having such a poor start. So it'll be interesting to see how it works out. But I mean, he's not in a terrible spot right here. We do see a thunderclap as well as a bolt going off to finish and kill that crypt fiend right there while that coil was on cooldown from killing whatever. I think that was a peasant, but it might have been a footman right over there. Now here we do see a wagon actually out at this point. Wagons are great. He could really use a upgrade on it though. The attack upgrade would be nice because that would help it do a lot more damage now that there is a level 1 masonry on the field. And we're not even seeing level 2 masonry, so it would be really nice to get a 1 attack upgrade and 3 wagons, and that would take this down like butter essentially. Wait. I mean, if this was made out of butter, it would go down pretty fast regardless. But the point is, right? I mean, there's an expression I meant to say, like a hot knife through butter. You've probably heard of it before. You know, it's a pretty famous expression, right? Pretty famous. But anyway, we do have some rifles coming up. There are 1-0 upgraded. These fiends, however, are 0-0 upgraded. The meat wagon going to take a little bit of damage from that footman. Not a big deal. That footman is going to take also a ton of damage, and it's going to go down. As I said, not many footmen make it to the end of games. I mean, it's one of the most dangerous jobs in Warcraft 3 to be a footman. I'm just saying, like, it really is. It's crazy. I think the only job that's more dangerous than a footman is maybe, and I'm not even sure about this, is a goblin saper, but I don't know. You're going to see a bolt going off onto that crypt fiend, going to immediately get a frost armor and a thunderclap. Here comes a dust as well, so he can't get out of there with the burrow. We do have these militia kind of blocking behind Really nicely done. We're going to see another bolt on this fiend as well. The Death Coil barely missing. A Nova going off to kill some of these peasant militia right here. We need to get those militia down in order to even take this fight. It looks like one of those militia will go down. And here we do see 2 meat wagons now, and Reprisal just trying to get a really nice position here with his rifles and his Mountain King. I'm definitely going to be able to do that. Here we're going to see one of these meat wagons is definitely going to go down. We're going to see a second one. Both meat wagons looks like they're going to both go down. Let's see. Yes, indeed, they do both go down. And over here we're going to see these rifles getting away fairly scot-free, essentially. You're going to see now there are a lot of peasants right here, so we might see a lot of damage and a little bit of experience being picked up here from Cechi on Reprisal's peasants. That's really nice. Each one of these is 25 experience. Of course, there's modifiers. You know, there's 2 heroes here, and there's tier 2, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, just to... yeah, because normally I'm like, they're 25 experience, but that's usually when, you know, they're level 1 and at tier 1. But, with 1 hero. But, anyway, let's not worry about all of that. We do have another meat wagon out, and let's see, what is this? This is a ghoul. And here's a second meat wagon out, a third one on its way. Here you can see these rifles. Looks like they're trying to get back here and get a flank off onto this meat wagon. That meat wagon's immediately going to have to run away. Can they take this fight? They might be able to. They have 2 statues. What's the mana count? They have plenty of mana, I'd say, at this point. Maybe a bit more on the Lich would be nice. But if that Lich hits level 3, he'll actually be in a fairly decent spot for defending against all these rifles. Are we seeing any more upgrades or tier 3? Not yet. Not yet. He is having some issues with wood. Of course, we've seen several of these peasants be killed that were on wood. Of course, lots of the wood peasants were having to be used as militia. And on top of that, we also have a clarity and a healing thing being used on the Mountain King. And he's going to have to get that, well, it was canceled essentially, and it did get some nice amount of regeneration off. But anyway, we do see these rifles are chasing down the meat wagon, picking one of them off. That Mountain King was able to get away, fairly low HP, but he got away and back into the safety of his base, his expansion base. And do we have a Nova? Nope, there's not enough mana for a Nova yet, but we do see one of these rifle almost dead, but another one probably going to go down to a coil right here. He does have full mana on that Death Knight. He can easily afford to coil. Maybe pick that one off and then coil this one or something. But he does need to get a coil off because he can kill one of these guys. Maybe he's saving it for the Mountain King. But the Mountain King does have a potion of healing and a scroll of healing, so it's going to be a little bit harder. Or maybe he just doesn't want to waste it on such a low HP rifle. I mean, that's also true, but it's full mana. He's wasting regeneration time right now, natural regeneration time. But we do have 2 meat wagons on this town hall over here while the rest of this skirmish goes on. And these peasants are essentially just sitting there repairing, not able to do a whole lot. The Mountain King is no longer has a potion of healing, so maybe we'll see some serious focus fire coming in from that. We do have a Nova coil at the ready. I guess he wants to use the majority of his coils defensively here in this fight, which is fine. But I mean, when you're having them on the run, I don't know. I feel like he could have, you know, killed a couple more of those rifles, and that might have been worth it. But considering he does have statues there, but you know, whatever. I'm not gonna judge him because I'm sure he had good reasons. Over here we're going to see that Death Knight ticket. I think he took a hit from the Arcane Tower. This whole town hall at 2-0 masonry, and the meat wagon's still at 0-0. So even though he has 2, maybe 3 of them, I think he has 2. Yeah, only 2 of them, but even though he has 2, it's not really a huge deal with that 2 levels of masonry. But here we do see a paladin is out now, and here's the Mountain King running in, getting a very nice thunderclap, thunderclapping the entire undead army. Does he have a dust? No dust at the moment. Mountain King chasing down the meat wagon right there in the back, picking it off. Is he going to chase down the other one? Nope. Looks like the other one is going to be chased down. Oh, never mind. Yes, indeed, he's going to be chasing down the other one. Cechi trying to kill some of these here rifles, and now that there's a Holy Light on the field, he's like, okay, I need to be more aggressive with my coils at this point because, of course, Holy Light is just ridiculously good, even though it's level 1. But if you want a little bit of trivia, Holy Light is a 6-second cooldown spell, and it costs 65 mana, and it does the exact same thing as Coil, except it's what's it called? It's almost instant. You know how Coil has that travel time. So the Paladin actually taking a ton of damage. It looks like he's gonna get away. I'm not sure why he didn't chase him, but maybe he'll try to get him on the round turn over here. But there's a shop, so we'll see exactly what happens. It looks like he's not even gonna chase him down that way. So just keep up on the army, and we're gonna see this rifleman taking some focus fire immediately at one of these fiends getting burrowed, and there is another Coil off. So nicely done, getting that experience where he can. Really nice to have, and we're gonna see quite a few fiends at this point. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fiends, I think. 9 fiends with 2-0 upgrades. Better than the rifles at this point, so Cechi's in a pretty fairly good spot right now. This Paladin back here not doing too well. Let's see, is he tier 3 yet? Not tier 3 yet, but he does have the level 2 masonry upgrades, and triple barrack rifles. Very nice. Just sitting at 50 food. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see him at 60. Yes, indeed. Maybe thought 70 even, but nope, not quite. Just 60. This town hall, very resilient. I don't know why he doesn't just go in and kill these towers a little bit. You know, at least the arcane one, and then allow him to pick off some of these peasants a little bit easier. But hey, I mean, I understand he has to worry about the positioning here, but he does have a clearly superior army. So I'm not sure. Of course, if some militia came in, that would be an issue. Yeah. One thing that I was going to finish talking is a little comparison about between the Death Coil and the Holy Light. Death Coil 75 mana, Holy Light 65 mana. Death Coil 7-second cooldown, Holy Light 6-second cooldown. Same effect. Holy Light travels its projectile almost instantly. It's not instant. You can actually dodge it if it's used as a nuke, and you can actually kill something that gets Holy Lighted before the Holy Light goes off, and it still wastes the cooldown stuff. So it's really fast anyway. Here we're going to see a Fiend taking some immediate damage and such things. Of course, there's one drawback to Holy Light, which is the fact that only can nuke undead units, but in this matchup, that's not much of a drawback at all. I mean, you can't creepjack most camps with it, but again, not that big of a deal. That's not even a balance issue of the races, that's a balance issue of the maps, really. But anyway, we're going to see these mechanical units in the back, the statues, as well as the wagons being forced out. We're going to see quite a bit of damage going off onto these riflemen. Oh, now the statues are actually starting to take some damage. These rifles just kind of being used quite devastatingly against these mechanical units. However, they're being picked off just in droves right now. Really, we're just seeing so many of those units dying. Level 4 Mountain King, level 1 Paladin, level 3 Lich, and level 4 Death Knight. We're about to see a level 5 and 4 over here for the Undead as well. So if he gets 5-5 or 5-4, he's going to be in a fairly good spot. So, I mean, doing pretty well right here. And again, still there's no tech over here for Reprisal, still at tier 2. Picking off even another rifleman there, using of course a Coil Nova, a nice item on that Lich, the Potion of Greater Healing. And I don't know, it's looking really good for Cechi in this game so far. And if we look down here, you can see he's finally started his tech. He has a Sacrificial Pit up. He might even decide this is the time to go a bit of Frostworms. That would be really nice in this, I think. I know Frostworms suffer a big issue with taking a lot of focus fire, because they're slow units, but they are fairly tanky units with a frost armor and, you know, a bit of micro and coil, and that would be really effective since there aren't any casters out for Reprisal. You know, he could just essentially anything he looks at is going to die if he can get some frostworms out. But we do see a Fiend being picked off to a thunderclap right there, and a bash, a little bit of focus fire from those rifles. I'm surprised he's not more aggressively going after that Paladin, considering it's only level 1 and doesn't have a divine shield. But maybe, who knows. Anyway, once the undead hits, once Cechi hits tier 3, he can also pick up the Orb of Corruption, and he does have backpack ready to bring it, and there's even a Fiend just sitting there waiting with a Potion of Mana in that inventory. Also going to go ahead and pick up the Orb of Corruption right there, pass the mana over maybe to the Death Knight, and pass the orb to the Lich, and he could very easily win this game right here. Very easily, I think. Look at this, his army is clearly superior at this point. So I think we might be seeing Reprisal might have to abandon this expansion here in a little bit, maybe take another expansion or do something else, because it just doesn't look like these 3 barrack rifles are working out for him. I mean, it's a fairly even fight right now still. I'm not going to deny it. There's 66 food versus 50 food, so Reprisal's in a better situation in terms of army size, but in terms of upgrades, in terms of army competence, hero competence, you know, I would say that Reprisal is in the better spot here. Here we do see that Potion of Mana, and is that Orb of Corruption immediately put onto that Lich. Level 4 on the Lich, about to hit level 5 on this Death Knight. 1 more, 2 more, 3 more peasants, something, or rifles, something like that. I think 3 more. You can see another rifleman going down, and as you can see, I mean, he's really close. He's going to go ahead and hit level 5 on this. He's doing really well, and we do have this wagon still just beating down on this town hall, forcing all of those peasants to not be able to gather resources. They have to repair instead, even though it's just 1, you know. So it's also doing some AoE damage there. It's attacking the ground rather than that directly. Now he can run in here and take out these towers, perhaps. I mean, I don't know. He's clearly doing really well in this fight. I mean, 63 food, but again, Cechi didn't really lose anything in that fight. So I mean, he's really in a really strong spot right now. I think I mean, here comes Reprisal again. I think Cechi's just going to win this fight as well. Wait, what's the Lich doing? The Lich is running away. Okay, nope, the Lich is coming back in here. You see some of these militia. There's only 4 of them. That's not a huge issue. Oops, and here comes a couple more. Okay, this could be an issue. He probably doesn't want to take this fight. but he does have the potion of greater healing being passed to the Death Knight, taking a ton of damage. And I mean, now he's just being silly. He's just running away. He's not actually fighting. I understand why, but TP out or something here, man. Jeez. Okay, we're gonna see these. Now he's got better positioning here. He says, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and try to kill down some of these peasants. Oh, he's gonna lose that Lich. Oh no. Oh fuck. Okay, the Lich is dead. Oh no. The Fiend is dying. This isn't looking good all of a sudden for Cechi. Oh dear. Okay, Cechi is now retreating. Okay, and he is retreating, and here comes Reprisals. Mountain King is chasing this down. Okay, well, you know, I mean, we do see Cechi putting up an expansion with that footman that was still down there. You know, hey, sometimes I guess a footman does make it to the end of the match, huh? It happens. It's only got a 98% mortality rate. It's pretty good. I say that, you know, maybe that's not the case. I mean, I don't know. He might actually die then. I thought that the game, the footman was like, you know what, I'm gonna run away if they fight and just stay there. But who knows? The game's not over yet. But here we do see a little bit of creeping coming off. Getting a nice item, a Healthstone. Not a bad item. Here comes Reprisals army down here to this expansion. Here comes the rifles that are attacking that ghoul, and that's gonna go down. And that footman, yep, he's still up, still good. Oh, look at these acolytes are gonna get caught out of position. This isn't a good fight to take, or a good fight. It's a good fight to take. It's just not the greatest positioning. Oh, and the Lich goes down again. He went for the coil, but not quite fast enough. That's unfortunate. I think he could have won this fight right there if he could have just got that A-bomb a little bit faster into the front with that Lich. But geez, okay. Just so much damage output right there, and that's going to be a good game for Cechi. So that's Reprisal 1-0. I thought Cechi had it there. I really did. But, you know, if you take an out-of-position fight like that and you lose your Lich twice in a row at the end of the game, that's a little unfortunate. But he did play pretty strongly here, even though he had a terrible opening. I mean, he had one of the worst openings you can have. He lost his DK, didn't get really any harass. I think he killed one peasant in the early game period. So, I mean, there is that. But he still almost won. He just... yeah, the positioning. But that's game 1. You can click here to go to game 2, and this is a best of 5. It's ZOTAC number 261 final, so I'll see you there.